Hello, fourth graders. Today we're going to read a poem called A Special Beach. The thing that's different about this poem is the shape of the poem. But as you're reading it, you're just going to read from left to right, and then here where there's a space, you're just going to skip that space. So you say a beach curves back, skip the space, and forth and back. It makes a shape out of the sand. And then you're just going to continue to read it. And then down here, and seabirds fly a lap. You're going to skip this space. My beach has. Okay? So if you look at the picture, you see the seals that are on the beach. They're enjoying their special beach. And we have seagulls. Those of you who have been to the beach, you know that sometimes those seagulls can be quite aggressive. So they are enjoying their special beach. Okay, so we shall begin. A special beach, somewhere on the salty sea, where the ocean meets the land. A beach curves back and forth and back. It makes a shape out of the sand. There, water crashes over rocks as smooth as they are steep. There, fishing boats slip out from docks to form the mighty deep. Bold seals will often meet for lunch, lie down and take a nap. Black snails crawl inside little pools, and seabirds fly a lap. My beach has lots of seaweed and sand piled high in dunes. There's plastic garbage everywhere. Straws, bottles, bags, and spoons. So, in the beginning, we're talking about the beauty of the beach and how the water, it says meets the sand. That means it's right next to the sand. The water's right next to the sand. And it's talking about how it's curving, how it kind of has this like S-type shape to it. And then it talks about the water crashing, and then the rocks are smooth. It talks about fishing boats, so we don't see any pictures of the fishing boats. When you're out toward the sea, you do see a lot of boats out in the sea. Then they're talking about the seals that like to have their lunch on the beach. And then after their lunch, they might get tired and take a nap. Then we're talking about also along with the seals are black snails. And we're talking about the birds of the sea. And they're talking about seaweed. Lots of seaweed on the beach. But along with all of those natural things that you would see on the beach, unfortunately, there's also garbage on some of our beaches. The types of garbage left over by humans are plastic garbage like straws and bottles and bags and spoons. That's why it's really important that we take care of our beach. Number 1. What is this poem mostly about? So remember, we start the sentence with, this poem is mostly about. Number 2, what curves back and forth and back? So we can see that in the picture, what curves back and forth and back. What kinds of garbage can be found on the beach? The end of the poem talks about the garbage that's everywhere on the beach. Number 4, how do you know this piece of writing is a poem? So think about what you know about poetry and what you see and discuss in the poem itself. Number 5, how do the readers know the shape of the beach? What clues does the author give? That would be over here about the beach curves back and forth and back. It makes a shape out of the sand. Number 6, how does the illustration help the reader understand the poem? So remember, illustration is a fancy word for picture. How does the picture help the reader understand the poem? Number 7, the author spends a lot of time describing the beauty of the beach, but only includes one line about the garbage. Why do you think the author did this? Number 8, how does the end of the poem change the way the reader feels about the beach? So almost the whole poem is about the wonderful baby seals and black snails and seabirds and the curving and where the ocean meets the land and wonderful things about the beach until you get to that last line. There's plastic garbage everywhere. Straws, bottles, bags, and spoons. Well, I hope that this was helpful. Thank you very much.